Okay, so we're now recording. Okay, so ये मैंने share किया है, so you're seeing the Word document, right? So let me stop sharing you. Let me share something else. Okay. So can you see this screen now, which says, Isha, you see the Gaussian curve, right?
Yes, sir, I do.
But it says physics is the art and science of finding out how uncertain the world really is, right? So if I were to sum up this course into just one line, just why that would be this course will try to give you an art and science, or teach you the art and science of how to model uncertainties in the world, which are there, which are always there, you cannot be avoided. And more importantly, which give you the art and science of trying to deal with those uncertainties, trying to mitigate the effect of those uncertainties. Uncertainties in the world are something which we cannot get rid of. I mean, we cannot say कि हमने uncertainty कम कर दूंगा मैं किसी तरीके से दुनिया में. That's there. Given that that's there, the objective of what we're going to do throughout the semester is going to teach you with tools which are going to help you uh, to 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 mitigate the effect of those uncertainties because they're always there. ठीक है, तो आपने कुछ ऐसा डिजाइन ऐसे करना है, अपने डिसीजन ऐसे लेने हैं जिंदगी में और अपने इंजीनियरिंग डिजाइन प्रोसेस में which can compensate for the effect of those uncertainties. So if I were to summarize this in just one sentence, that would be it. Okay, so this is the art and science of finding out how uncertain the world really is, and this goes back to, give me a second. So this goes back to what I was saying about the signals. Um, okay, which was, okay, if I were to give you a signal which is a cosine signal, right? And that's cosine signal has a certain amplitude, has a certain frequency, which I know of, and that's a deterministic signal. However, actual signals in the real world are not like that. There's always uncertainty. For example, uh, some uncertain things that I can think of. So is your speech signal. So examples. Of things or signals that are uncertain. So the first thing I can think of is speech, right? Actually, for that matter, even if I give you this cosine signal, right? So even if I gave you, is there a pointer that I can use here? Okay. So that's something I would have to figure out later. So can you see the pointer? Okay, so let's do this for now. So if I gave you this cosine, S of t equals a times cosine omega naught t, and I asked you to measure it, okay? I asked you to measure it using an oscilloscope. The signal that you're going to see on your oscilloscope is not going to be exactly a cosine. It's going to have some noise on it. And in fact, if you measure it over and over again, every time you're going to get something which is different, right? And that's the inherent uncertainty that's there in the world, in this case, which is there because of the electronics, or there's white noise, or there's random noise and the electronics that have the measuring equipment, right? So that's a source of uncertainty in and that sinusoid. Okay? So this view that S of t equals a times cosine omega naught t is a signal that will be able to measure is really a fantasy, because what you measure is this thing, and plus there's some randomness to it. Similar is the case for speech, right? So first off, you don't know exactly what I'm going to say next. Right? आगे क्या बोलना है मैंने? You will not be able to predict. Even I cannot predict what I'm going to say. right? So that's a complex operation based on which suddenly kuch ho jata hai, or and what comes out is uncertain. I mean, I cannot say yaar ab main kya bolne wala hu, theek hai? So there's an inherent uncertainty involved there. There's an inherent randomness involved here. If you look at the speech signal as well, right? If you, for example, you were to design a speech recognition system, I mean, it would once again be a very simplistic thing to say, yaar, if somebody is saying stochastic systems, this is what the speech signal stochastic systems looks like. I mean, you cannot have a template for that. You cannot have a deterministic template for that. There's always going to be variations, even within my own voice. मैं stochastic system आज बोलता हूँ, या शाम को बोलता हूँ, या सुबह बोलता हूँ, या खाने के बाद बोलता हूँ, या पानी पीने के बाद बोलता हूँ, या jogging करने के बाद आके बोलता हूँ. Everything that I measure is going to be different from each other because of inherent uncertainty that there is in this world. Okay, stochastic systems. If, for example, Mohsen speaks, and I'm going to keep up bringing up Mohsen because, or Arsalan, because those are the only two persons I can see on my screen. If Mohsen speaks, the speech signature of Mohsen is going to be very, very different. Okay? So therefore, if you're designing a speech recognition system, your speech recognition system has to incorporate that randomness there, right? Or uncertainty there. Okay? That's what this course is going to enable you to be able to do. Okay? Modeling that uncertainty and taking care of this uncertainty. I have some other examples as well. Other example is internet traffic. और आप कह सकते हैं कि मैं uncertainty मेरी इतनी सारी है कि even though I'm sitting at home, I've tried to make sure that internet आगे चलेगा या नहीं चलेगा अगले 2 मिनट के अंदर. That's random. I mean, that's uncertain. I don't know if it's going to work or not, right? So therefore, the measures that I've taken, knowing probability theory, is to have as many redundant routes as possible, right? So if you come and see my office here or home office here, so I have an Ethernet cable connected to my laptop. I have the regular Wi-Fi working in my home as well, so there's a fallback option, and then a fallback option is a Jazz dongle that I have turned on. कि अगर खुदा ना खासा इनमें से कोई चीज़ भी ऑफ हो जाती है, so then I can jump back to another third option. And these are random variables, whether it's going to work or not. So I'm just trying to reduce the probability or the chances of me being disconnected from you and being able to give you this useful and impactful knowledge that you're all yearning for, right? So that's how probability theory plays in my mind. Okay. The other example is internet traffic here. So internet traffic is the number of packets that you have coming into your router is all random, and you need to design your modules in a way or your routers in a way which can cater for that random traffic. Any sensor measurement that you take, so sensor measurements are inherently always random. So therefore, if you are making some measurements, there's going to be some noise on top of it. Sometimes the noise is going to be more, sometimes the noise is going to be less. But if you have, for example, multiple sensors, you want to fuse them together. Yaar, kahan se sensor की reading अच्छी आ रही है, नहीं आ रही है, you have to have a stochastic model. You have to have a random model to be able to fuse them together. So sensor fusion, if you've heard of it, heavily relies on probability theory. Tools that we're going to learn in this semester. So I have other examples in my notes. You'll be able to find other examples, many other examples in the textbook as well. But let me just put up something relevant. Is the number of students showing up in class. Right, every day, hopefully it's not going to be random. Every day I will hopefully have all of the students attending. So lekin I know KG things are uncertain in the world. So with the very small, I'm being very optimistic because with a very small probability there are going to be 1 or 2 people missing in every lecture, but otherwise everybody's going to be available. Lekin thodi si uncertainty fir bhi rahegi, and that's why we're recording. ओके एंड जो बहुत रेलेवेंट आपके लिए कैसे कि जो स्टूडेंट्स के लिए बड़ी कंसर्निंग बात होती है कि व्हाट ग्रेड एम आई गोना गेट, सो यू कैन मॉडल दैट ग्रेड दैट यू गोना गेट as a random variable or as something which is uncertain. You don't know for sure at this point what grade you're going to get at the end of the semester. So there's uncertainty there as well, and that's why you model bell curve and so on and so forth. So all of these tools are going to be part of this course. Um, and the easiest or the simplest example that you're familiar with is, of course, कौन सा simplest example है जो ज़हन में आता है whenever somebody talks about probability? जिसकी वीडियो नहीं ऑन है, let me ask somebody there. Cards, okay. Ghazi says cards.
Coin toss.
Dice.
Okay, dice and coins. So these are all or instruments that you use to learn probability theory. खास तौर पे in undergraduate curriculum, and to an extent we're going to be using this as well to try to build up to more advanced concepts. So dice or dice नहीं चले, coin ले लेते हैं. Coin is probably the simplest thing that even high school students see or matriculation students see as well. So I mean, you're going to find debates online, by the way, which talks about, is the world really uncertain? There may be physicists amongst you. Ghazi is one of them who can bring in Heisenberg principle here. लेकिन चलें उसको मैं अभी थोड़ा सा ignore करता हूँ. लेकिन there will be a debate here कि क्या वाकई दुनिया uncertain है या नहीं है? So the counter example I can give you कि if I knew, for example, कि कॉइन मैंने किस पेज पे स्टार्ट किया, उसको कितनी फोर्स से फ्लिप किया, राइट, और वो हवा कैसी थी, राइट, हवा का फ्लो कैसा था, the surface that is going to land on, if I have a model for what the surface is going to be, temperature क्या था, and so on and so forth. If I factor in all of these variables, all of these parameters, I may actually be able to predict what phase the coin is going to land on, right? So you may argue कि यार नहीं, uncertainty is not there because of some inherent nature of the universe, but rather the uncertainty is there because of things that you don't know, right? Similarly, अगर कोई electronic noise आती है आपके instruments के अंदर, तो if you knew, for example, each and every one of the electrons कि वो किस तरह मूव कर रहे हैं, किस तरह मूव करने वाले हैं, उनके वेलोसिटी मॉडल्स हैं, and so on and so forth, you could argue, maybe argue कि I can predict what the noise variable is going to look like. ठीक है? So Arsalan, I think is ADCOM में बैठे हैं आप, right?
Yes, मैं लैब में बैठा हूँ.
लैब में बैठे हैं. So बाकी सारे जो लोग जो लम्ब से बाहर बैठे हैं, who are very very keen on visiting LUMS, so they can see Nabil at the back as well. So his view देख लें. ईशा, नाज़िश, माज, सारे एस-वाज के लिए आने के लिए तरस रहे. So hopefully, inshallah, we will be back on campus soon. Each and every one of you is going to be back on campus soon as well. ठीक है? थोड़ा दिल को सुकून हुआ है. ठंड पड़ी है नहीं पड़ी? So this is all on record.
Thank you, sir.
This is being recorded. Sorry. Okay.
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah.
Sir, mathematically, can we always perfectly reconstruct a deterministic signal given all of its parameters?
So that's where the debate is. So Ghazi will have something to say about it. Yani, Ghazi, you're the physics guy, right?
The thing is that at a very microscopic level, physics says that there's an absolute uncertainty. कि जो भी कुछ कर लो, जितना perfect model बना लो, uncertainty is a reality. ठीक है? लेकिन जब भी आपका जो एक isolated system है ना, जब वो environment के साथ interact करता है ना, तो हम कहते हैं उसको decoherence. कि ना, अगर एक quantity है ना, quantumness, वो उसकी quantumness lose होना शुरू हो जाती है. इसलिए हम कभी real world के अंदर उसके effects नहीं देखते हैं. इसलिए जो हम uncertainty में लगता है stochastics के अंदर study करेंगे या फिर जिन signals को हम study करेंगे, उसके अंदर ऐसी कोई uncertainty नहीं है जो beat नहीं की जा सकती. Perfect sensor, perfect सब कुछ, और हम उस uncertainty को beat कर लेंगे. लेकिन अब ऐसे experiments निकल रहे हैं जो ना जो जो physical uncertainty है, जो absolute law of the world है ना, उसको study कर पा रही है, उसको short noise कहते हैं, और वो इसलिए होती है क्योंकि ना photons uncertain है. तो हम ऐसे signals भी देख सकते हैं जो uncertain, जो absolutely uncertain है, लेकिन normally जिन signals हम deal करते हैं वो
if I can, thank you very much, Ghazi. तो I mean, इससे conclusion ये हुआ कि I mean, there is uncertainty there in the universe. मुझे बहुत ज़्यादा चीज़, I'm not a physicist, but this is an ongoing debate. और inherently microscopic level पे, yes, you cannot have things which are certain. आप इसमें शायद थोड़ी सी वो philosophical debate जो है वो creationism वाली भी ला सकते हैं, but let's not go there. लेकिन Lube Lobab, as in, if I were to summarize the problems that we're going to be dealing with, regardless of what you believe or what the theory tells you, the problems that we're going to be dealing with are sort of macroscopic in nature. And for those macroscopic problems, the way I see it is, there will exist models, but those models will be inaccurate. I mean, वो क्या कहते हैं कि all models are inaccurate, but some are better than the others, right? So all of those models are going to be inaccurate, and the inaccuracy is actually the uncertainty, you can say. Okay? So a way to model that uncertainty is through that randomness behavior. Okay? So if I'm flipping the coin, I don't know the force with which I'm flipping it. I don't know the material is going to land on. I don't even know what the model describes how this system is going to behave. Okay? So why not just define this as a probabilistic event, which models it really, really well. The probabilistic nature, the uncertainty nature, models it really well, which allows you to make decisions, in a probabilistic sense, which guarantee you benefit or loss. And आपको पता है कि यार मैंने benefit अगर लेना है on average, तो मुझे ये करना चाहिए. And that works in the real world. I mean, this is not something which is a real world से मुबर्रा है. I mean, this is concerned with the real world. Okay. So Shoaib, does that answer your question to an extent?
So sir, all this debate also applies to a signal such as A cos omega t, isn't it? Yeah. That answers the question. Thank you.
So again, cos omega naught t is a mathematical description, right? So that mathematical description is absolute. It's certain, right? There exists a mathematical signal, which may not be necessarily be a real world signal, but it's something abstract that exists there, which has a certain frequency and which has a certain amplitude. But what you observe in the real world is going to be this absolute truth plus some randomness, right? And since you observe something which is random, you may not be able to completely know what the absolute truth was. लेकिन उसका model exist करता है, कोई variable exist करता है. ठीक है, हम थोड़ी सी मेरे ख्याल में we're diverging. So we can have this debate maybe outside of the class as well. If I were to summarize all of this, in summary, whether or not there exists uncertainty in the universe, that is immaterial to us, because regardless of what camp you're in, the probability theory, which we're going to learn, is going to be able to model both camps. Okay? Regardless of whether there is or there is not inherent uncertainty in the universe. Okay? So that's the conclusion. Now, what I am going to do next is going to try to give you some motivating examples to try to explain why the study of probability theory is important, very, very broadly speaking. I mean, I'm not going to talk about a lot of details, but very broadly speaking, from areas that you may be familiar with from your undergraduate, from your 3 years of education for some, and 4 years of education for the others. And I think there's some PhD students here as well who would have had more details in their academic programs. तो सबसे पहली एग्जांपल जो है वो communication system से है. So let me just talk about an example from communication systems. And what I am doing here is, yes, there is uncertainty, always uncertainty involved in anything I do. So why do we need to study this uncertainty? Why? So there is a need for us to model this uncertainty, for us to be able to mitigate the effect of this uncertainty. Here's what I mean by that, in particular for the domain of communication systems. Communication system में क्या हो रहा होता है? Communication systems में, as I am communicating to you, even though you're just hearing my voice, actually what goes down in at the lower levels is what? क्या हो रहा होता है? So my voice is being converted into bits. ठीक है? Those bits are being transmitted through some system which has some uncertainty involved. How is that uncertainty? So what's really going on is कि मेरे पास एक message है. So message is in bits that goes into my modulation or my encoder, if you will. So let me say this is an encoder. And this encoder you can think of as a black box, which perhaps includes the laptop, which perhaps includes the Ethernet cable, or everything that goes on in the laptop, ठीक है? और जिसके अंदर वो बिट्स में कन्वर्ट होता है, उसको कोई ना कोई मॉड्यूलेशन में दिया जाता है, उसको फिर कोई ना कोई कोडिंग होती है, and everything that goes inside of that. And then that is transmitted through a medium. And that medium is actually a composite medium as far as we're concerned, because for me, it's being transmitted through an Ethernet cable. I'm not using Wi-Fi for now. ठीक है? So Ethernet cable से गया, router पे गया, bits गए, router से कहीं ना कहीं backbone पे गया. Backbone would actually be wireless, right? So that would, इस medium में भी errors आते हैं. Backbone के जो transmission है, वो Wi-Fi के वो wireless communication के ऊपर, उसके ऊपर भी errors आते हैं. So we lump all of that together into something called a channel, and we say, okay, this is going to go through something called the channel, and this channel adds uncertainties here. So this channel is actually what adds uncertainties. In other words, the bits that you transmit are not the bits that come out, right? There will be errors in those bits, right? And what your job is to try to design a decoder which takes in the output of the channel and gives you an estimate of the message. So you try to decode a message which may not necessarily be the same as the message that was transmitted. मेरी आवाज हो सकता है बीच में कभी रुकती हो for some of you, and कभी वो blur होती हो, कभी distortion आती हो. So what the message that you're hearing is not exactly the message that I'm transmitting, right? But whatever lies beneath, the encoder and the decoder tries to what? That encoder and decoder tries to model all of the uncertainties involved in the transmission process and designs this encoder and decoder in such a way that the probability of the message that you hear not being equal to the message that I speak is minimized. Okay? So once again, what this field of probability and randomness and modeling is going to do for you is going to try to is going to allow you to design systems which will minimize the chances of the message that you receive and the message minimize the chances of error in the messages that you receive. ठीक है? जब तक आपको वो randomness का नहीं पता, उसके models का नहीं पता, तब तक you will not be able to design systems for this. ठीक है? Which can compensate for that uncertainty. Okay? Any questions here? All right. So by the way, a side note here. So as you can actually observe, I'm using a sort of a grayish background here. I don't know about you. Some students may prefer a white background, white page background. Lekin the reason why I'm using a dark color background is based on studies that I found on the internet, by the way. Which says that for some reason, I don't know what the reason is. I've not studied that much in detail. Students prefer a black background over a white background for online teaching. I don't know how you guys feel. So, agar hai, chale. So maybe I can have a quick raise of hands. What do you prefer? Do you prefer a white background? You can raise your hands if you wish. Shoaib prefers a white background.
So just a suggestion, like I think black backgrounds are more preferable, but if this black could be made even more black, then I think text would stand out even more.
Okay, thank you, Zefa. Actually, I had the previous semester I used completely black, or I switched to a little grayish because of the other camp, जो white prefer करते हैं. So I personally prefer बिल्कुल black. So maybe I'll go that route. You want me to try that, by the way? So we're using up our time here, like in. So these are the teething problems I referred to. Okay, here you go. So this is, I think it's completely black, is it? So we can adjust it later. So this may not be completely black. I'll do that later. Okay, so let's focus on the content first. Take care, Zefa. And
okay, sir.
Shoaib may not be too happy with the completely black background. Right, Shoaib?
Are fine, sir.
Fine. Okay, good. Achari. So the second example I have for you is in computer networks. I also prefer these ruled lines not to be here, by the way. This because मुझे लगता है screen के अंदर थोड़ी सी nuisance create होती है. लेकिन that's for my aid, because if there are no lines here, so I go all over the place. So maybe or maybe not, I'll get this removed in later classes. So computer networks example देख लेते हैं पहले. So computer networks क्या होते हैं? Is a very simplified example I'll show you. Computer networks में they're packets coming in into a router and packets going out of the router, right? Now, in order to process that packet or process the incoming packets, you have to have a buffer in routers. The routers always have buffers, right? And buffers are simply registers, if you will, right? So they are a first in, first out type of FIFO type of a buffer here, right? So you have multiple entries inside the buffer. So there are packets that go in and packets that go out. Okay. Now, how does probability come into the picture here? I mean, who's gonna maybe help me here? How does probability come into the picture here? So should I call out names? Yeah, somebody's gonna volunteer. So Mohsin raised his hand. Sorry, किसी और की आवाज नहीं आई थी, लेकिन let Mohsin take it. Yeah. जी Mohsin.
So based on the probability of error, you could change the size of the buffer. So you could decide on what size the buffer should be in order to cater for all the losses.
Okay. So the way I would think about this is that the packet which are coming in, the rate at which they're coming in is random. And it's always random, by the way, right? You cannot predict at a router कि किस वक्त traffic ज़्यादा हो जानी है. Right? For example, I mean, during the summers when in the morning हमारे traffic, my Wi-Fi router was pushed to the limits because my two kids were having online classes. My wife also had online meetings. I was also having online meetings, so that was really pushed to the limits, right? But on other occasions, you don't have as many traffic going in. So the packet incoming rate is random, right? At the same time, the packets going out rate is also random, right? The reason why that is random is because these packets have to go back to some backbone, right? Some network, right? That network may itself be very crowded at some points in time. ठीक है? अगर LUMS में इस वक्त सारे के सारे घरों में faculty departments में online classes करा रहे हैं, so the backbone is going to be really choked, right? Hopefully it is not, and thankfully it is not at the moment. So the backbone may be really choked, because of which the packets that go out of my router into the network, into the backbone, they may not go as fast as I would want them to be. Okay? So the packet incoming rate is random, the packet outgoing rate is random, right? So then based on this randomness of the incoming rate and the outgoing rate, you can design the length of the buffer, right? If you model the incoming rate randomness, if you model the outgoing rate randomness, you will be able to design the length of the buffer. Why? So as to minimize the amount of time, or minimize the probability that a packet is lost, or minimize the probability that a buffer overflows. Okay? For a given cost. Because ideally you would want this buffer size to be infinite in length, right? And that way a packet is never going to be lost. The packet is always going to stay there unless it is served. Okay? But you, in practice, in real world, you cannot have an infinite buffer length. There's a cost associated with it. Okay? So you have to minimize the cost while trying to satisfy a certain constraint on the probability with which a packet is dropped. Okay? So this is where probability theory is going to help us. The third example I have for you is statistical signal processing. And this, once again, is the example is relevant to what we're actually doing here. So let me just, the example corresponds to that of a video teleconferencing system, which we're doing at the moment, which is so let's consider my system here, right? There's an incoming audio, which I'm going to say is X of t, right? That X of t goes into my speaker, and I don't have my headphones on. So this goes into the speaker. The audio that is played on the speaker goes into a room, right? And that room has a certain response and goes back into my microphone. Right? Because of which, what happens is, if, for example, Mohsen is speaking, right? उसकी आवाज मेरे speaker से आई, कमरे से bounce back की, मेरे microphone में वापस गई, and then Mohsen would hear his own voice, and this is called acoustic echo. ठीक है? कभी-कभार शायद आपको सुनाई दिया हो, लेकिन majority of the times in modern teleconferencing systems, for example Skype or Zoom, you don't actually hear those echoes, those acoustic echoes. And the reason why you don't hear those acoustic echoes is because these apps or these systems have something called an acoustic echo canceller in place. ठीक है? वो acoustic echo canceller क्या करता है? आप Skype में जाके बहुत सारी आप settings देख सकते हैं उसकी. There is, I believe there's a setting there in which you can disable that echo canceller, and what that does is it takes up this signal here, so this takes up this signal here, passes it through some box, right, some black box, and provides an output. So let's say if this is y of t, it provides an estimate of this, what y hat of t is going to be, an estimate of y, right? And then just subtracts it off. यहाँ पे subtract लगा देते हैं वो, right? So this is minus here, this is plus here, right? So this is the error, which is hopefully equal to 0. If you've been able to model, or if you've been able to design this particular black box well, so you will be able to cancel the effect of this echo. Okay? Now, how do you model this? The way you model this, or way you learn this black box, is relies very, very heavily on randomness. And the reason why it relies very, very heavily on randomness is because your y of t is actually x of t convolved with some impulse response of the room. So let's assume there's an LTI system, and audio systems are typically LTI systems. So इस room में से गया room response एक LTI system है. It's just that I don't know what the impulse response of that system is. ठीक है? And there's a randomness here involved, which is noise. ठीक है? And that noise, for example, could be because of जो ऊपर पंखा चल रहा है. Right? That could be because of पीछे से मेरी बेटी जो है कोई आवाज लगाती है, right? And that's sort of uncertainty there, right? Or for that matter, there's noise in the system itself, the way the microphone records it, or the way उसके अंदर जो electronic measurements हैं, उसके अंदर noise है, right? So there is a randomness involved there, ठीक है? On top of that, by the way, this room response is random as well. I mean, क्योंकि हो सकता है अभी मेरी बेटी अंदर आ जाए, वो कमरा खोल दे, दरवाजा खोल दे, right? If she opens the door, the room response changes. If she closes the door, the room response changes. And in fact, ऊपर पंखा चल रहा है, and because it's moving, the room response is not constant. It continuously keeps on changing, right? So there's randomness there as well. Okay? So you need to account for that randomness. And probability theory is going to allow you to account for that randomness in designing this h hat of t such that the error is statistically minimized. And what do I mean by that? I will not go into a lot of details here.
Sir, y hat of t का क्या हुआ इधर?
So कौन से y hat का?
ये जो इधर से y hat of t नहीं आ रहा इधर?
Yeah, y hat of t आ रहा है.
आप कैसे मॉडल करेंगे अपने मॉडल?
Yeah, so that's an entire course on adaptive filtering. ठीक है? So उसको मॉडल करने के तरीकेकार होते हैं. That's based on statistical learning.
ये जो आपने मॉडल लिखा है इधर y of t,
Yeah.
ये इसे हम इसमें कैसे देखें? I mean, ये इसमें आप y hat of t तो इन्वॉल्व ही नहीं कर रहे.
So y hat of t is an estimate that your computer makes of what y of t should be. ठीक है? So if I'm not mistaken, Zen बोल रहे हैं? Ali Zen.
Yes, sir. Yes.
हाँ जी. So y hat of t is an estimate of what y of t will be. Right? And
Sir,
okay.
Isn't it that basically जो estimate है वो in fact h hat of t पर ही है in a way कि वो basically ये देख रहा है कि in the real world h of t क्या हो सकता है. So the closest estimate to that is basically h hat of t जिससे वो predict कर रहा है कि y of t का closest estimate क्या होगा.
Good, excellent. ये कौन थी, नाजिश?
Sir, मैं थी ईशा.
ईशा, okay. देखिए वीडियोस ऑन नहीं होती तो मुझे नहीं पता चलता कौन. वो मैंने स्क्रीन पिन की हुई है, मैंने नहीं किया. So yes, you're right. Actually estimate h hat हो रहा है. Explicitly estimate h hat हो रहा है जिसकी वजह से indirectly y hat भी estimate हो जाता है.
Right, sir.
ठीक है? So
sir,
I'm not trying to teach you the theory that goes inside of all of the system. This itself is an entire course. What I'm trying to impress upon you here is that underlying to all of these designs is statistics. The statistical signal processing is the study of randomness and study of random variables and random processes, which we're going to do in this semester. और इसकी एक exercise हम करेंगे भी, ठीक है? Which is related, which is prediction में आएगी, speech के साथ. ठीक है? Somebody else had a question here. Did somebody else have a question? No? Okay. Okay, and finally, as far as motivational examples are concerned, is machine learning. I mean, I know it's all the rage these days. I mean, it's the topic itself is very, very popular, is very hot. लेकिन जो है आई फील कि असल में मशीन लर्निंग इज नथिंग बट स्टैटिस्टिकल inference. So the underlying principles behind machine learning is probability theory. It's all probability theory. The one of the very simple examples I can give you is that of spam classification. ठीक है, आपके Gmail के अंदर या आपके Outlook के अंदर if you're using LUMS account, there will always be by default a spam filter. Okay, and what that does is it has some database built already based on probabilistic distributions, and what it computes is if there's a certain combination of words that appear in an email in a certain manner, it computes the probability of that email being a spam or the probability of that email not being a spam, right? It computes the chances of that. And if the chances of that being spam is greater than a certain threshold, that is when it blocks it and puts it into your spam folder. Okay? So the underlying principle of that spam classification is based on probability theory. Okay. Another example, for example, I can give you is a modeling exercise. For example, I give you a database, a data set, and from which you can try to learn if there's a person who smokes this many number of cigarettes a day, but exercises this many minutes a day as well, what is the average life expectancy of that person? When is that person expected to die, right? If I don't sound being too sadistic here. All of that is probabilistic modeling. All of that is learning, is inference, but based on probabilistic modeling. इसकी एक और एग्जांपल मैं आपको दे देता हूँ, which is actually a homework problem from last year, which is probably going to be a problem this year as well. कि एक factory है, right? And that factory produces, and I'm going to use exactly the same words. एक Charlie and the Chocolate Factory में who was Willy Wonka, right? So Willy Wonka has a chocolate factory, and that chocolate factory produces two types of candies. They're good candies and they're bad candies, right? And they're not differentiable from each other. They have exactly the same wrappers. They have exactly the same appearance, the same size. The only way you can differentiate one from the other is by opening up the wrapper and tasting it. And that's when you will be able to tell whether that thing that you're tasting is the good candy or the bad candy, or the medium candy, if you will. Okay? Now, उन्होंने दो बैचेस निकाले. विली वोंका ने एक गुड कैंडी का कंटेनर रख दिया, दूसरा बैड कैंडी का कंटेनर रख दिया. एंड देन समबडी कम्स इन हु इज मिस्चीवियस, और वो क्या करता है कि एक कंटेनर से कुछ 10% कैंडी उठा के दूसरे कंटेनर में डाल देता है और दूसरे वाले की 10% उठा के दूसरे कंटेनर में डाल देता है. ठीक है. नाउ यू कम इन द मॉर्निंग एंड यू नो दैट सच अ मिस्चिफ हैज टेकन प्लेस, राइट? बोथ ऑफ दोज कंटेनर्स have some good candies and some bad candies, but there's one container in which the majority is good and there's one container in which the majority is bad. Okay? Your job is to try to identify कि कौन सी वाला container good candy है और कौन सा वाला bad candy. What will you do? What would you do? Abdullah, क्या करेंगे?
Hello?
Yes, Abdullah.
नहीं, I'm Arslan.
Yeah, Abdullah नहीं बोल रहा है, Arslan बोल रहा है. Yes, Arslan, आप बताएं.
So I know that one of the containers has a lot of good candy and another container has a lot of bad candy.
Yeah.
So I can एक sequence के अंदर I can take a few candies from one container and एक sequence के अंदर I can take some candies from another container, and I know on average the container which has मतलब 10 में से 5 या 6 better candies. Yeah. So I would know wo container is the good container.
Okay, good. Right. So the solution is very intuitive, by the way, right? And which is exactly what Arslan says. I'm going to take a sample, right? I cannot. I mean, one solution, of course, is कि मैं उसमें 1 लाख कैंडीज है, 1 लाख कैंडीज खा के देखता हूँ मैं, और मैं देखता हूँ कि उसमें ज़्यादा गुड कैंडीज थी या ज़्यादा बैड कैंडीज थी. ज़्यादा गुड कैंडीज है तो I know the other one is bad. But that's not a feasible solution. आपने कैंडी तो सारी खत्म कर दी. ठीक है. So what you rather do is you take a sample, right? You take a sample, for example, of 5 candies, right? And you taste them out all over, ठीक है? उस 5 में से अगर majority good किया है तो you would say कि हाँ intuitively good candies वाला container ये था, right? But while this solution is very intuitive, right? The underlying reason why the solution is actually the optimum solution is probability theory, right?
So आपने जो कहा कि you can eat all of the candies, so I think that puts an upper bound on the way we can use this solution. I mean, if I'm testing 10 candies,
Yeah.
so I have a certain amount of confidence
Yes.
that what I'm doing is
So
correct.
my
And
point,
if
exactly. Excellent point, Ruslan.
so,
So if you have
if
a
I eat
amount of
all of
confidence,
them, then I would be completely sure.
yeah. So if you want to quantify that level of confidence, okay, for example, if you're tasting 5 candies, how certain will you be that the solution that you derived or the guess that you made is a correct solution? Uska confidence level exactly kya hoga? That will be based on probability theory or the tools that we learn in this. Okay? So, and there are many other problems that I can think of or I can conjure. Okay? So that's just one of the many examples that you could use probability theory for, and this is Bayesian inference. So basically, essentially, इसको जो है हम कहते हैं Bayesian inference है. That's also a hot term that you'll come across, not among students, but something that you should know, you should learn. That's essential. For example, if you're going from data science jobs, Bayesian inference आपको पता होनी चाहिए for you to be able to do something worthwhile in machine learning or inference. ठीक है? अच्छा, it looks like I have not been able to मेरा plan बहुत आगे जाने का था, लेकिन that's fine. I will stop the content here. So let me